So the amusement industry's been quite receptive to laser mazes as things, have panned out here, and that's in spite of the fact that 10 years ago there was no such thing. Why has this worked so well?
That's a great question. I think looking back and today, there's a couple of reasons. Number one, it's cool. I
Yeah.
mean, for those that haven't played a laser maze, it's an experience you'll remember the rest of your life. I mean, being in a 200 square foot room with lights and sound effects and lasers, and you get to be like a movie star and go through these. People really got excited about what the experience was. So that was one thing. It's just a cool product. The second thing is the movies did a lot of the advertising for us, right? I mean, it was laser mazes were in Mission Impossible, Entrapment, and some of these other movies. So we gained a lot of traction by the fact that people had seen this in the movies. And then finally, I'd say it's really been receptive and gaining momentum because it's a proven moneymaker. Now, after our first few installs, when we first started the business, we have real data that says you invest in this laser maze, you return a really good investment over a short amount of time. So the combination of it, it's cool. The movies have kind of advertised for us, and that it's a proven revenue generator has allowed the amusement industry to really be excited about this and adopt the product.
Yeah, great. So you and I have talked before about the merits and the not so merits of raising capital from venture capital investors, for example. And I think you guys thought about that at one point. Tell us take us through your thinking about, how to fund faster growth.
Yeah, so we had options early on as we were developing momentum in the business to look at outside funding, and that's always an option to be able to scale and grow the business. But as founders, when we first started the business, we went out for a beer and we talked about what we wanted to create with our business and some of the core beliefs that we wanted to incorporate. And one of those beliefs is we'd much rather work on customer problems, right? Making the product better, making the revenue model more solid, et cetera, rather than investor problems. Taking a
Mm,
call at 2:30 in the morning from an investor that perhaps doesn't know the industry as well, or having to spend a lot of time developing those relationships. In my experience, it takes a lot of time to manage these investor relationships. And so we chose early on that we'd much rather invest our time working with customers and getting their money and their buy-in to our product to grow the business rather than having to build investor relationships, because it's a heck of a lot more fun to work with customers and developing the business than it is with an investor. And that's nothing against investors
yeah.
per se, but that's just been my experience in building businesses.
So you've been at this now a decade or so, and you also spend time as a professor at the University of Colorado. So you're seeing students in the early stages of starting their businesses or thinking about what they want to do. What have you learned through the Funnovation journey that you share with your students?
Oh my gosh, so many things that I've learned with this adventure called Funnovation that I had a chance to share with our students. I think a number of things kind of come to the top. One is very topical, what we're talking about here. Really bootstrap your business. How can you be guerrilla? How can you be very creative in funding your business and focus on building the business rather than trying to raise money? I think there's kind of a big misconception out there for our students where they see shows like the Shark Tank and they see media about Zuckerberg raising billions of dollars, and so there's this myth, if you will, or misperception that the first thing they should focus on is to go raise a bunch of money, right?
Which grows on trees, right? Yeah,
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah. You could just go outside and get some money off of trees, and then you're off and running with your business. So to really demystify that is something I share with our students that, hey, rather focus on selling focus on selling the first 100 units and learn from that and iterate and then go back to the marketplace. Spend your time and energy and creativity in doing that rather than focusing on so much of raising money. So I certainly share that with our students. I think the other thing that I share with our students is it's it's so important to have a passion and an excitement and an enthusiasm for what you're creating in the world. Uh, because when you jump out of bed in the morning, and in our example, we had to allow kids and families to smile. And how cool is that? And to share with our students that really love the content and the language and the industry that you're in and work hard at it, that the rest tends to fall into place. So really love what you do and do that every day. And then I think the third thing that I share with our students is a word that you mentioned. It is a journey. Starting a business is not a one-time event.
Eureka.
It's
And
Yeah, exactly.
not the
You don't
case.
wake up one morning and you've got $10 million in the bank and fame and fortune, etc. I laugh with my students a lot. I've been doing this for over 25 years, and people say, "Wow, you're an overnight success that you've done this." And I say, "Well, if you consider 25 years as an overnight success, perhaps that would be appropriate."
Yeah.
Uh, but it's a choice. It's a choice and a really amazing choice to create jobs, to build a business, to create value in the world. So I think those are some of the key things that I appreciate sharing with our students.
Hmm. Very cool stuff. Well, Eric,
Thank
I know you're a really busy guy. It's very kind of you to have given us access to the Fundovation story and to be with us today and kind of get your slant on how things have gone and how you did it and why you did it. I think it's incredibly rich and a remarkable story. So thank you very much for being with us. I really appreciate it, and I look forward to seeing you soon.
Fantastic. Thanks so much, John. Appreciate it.